Good Friday morning. This is 106.1 KYVZ. Joe Vazurek visiting with Ag meteorologist Chris Schrammick at Decision Weather in Atwood, as well as America's Weather Streaming Channel. Chris, the heat wave continues.
Yeah, Joe, today is going to actually be the coolest day that we'll see in quite some time. We're probably looking at least till the end of next week. We may get back down into the middle 90s next Friday. But beyond that, it looks like we're going to head into that first week of August with triple-digit heat being the norm and low temperatures in the upper 60s and 70s, which is above normal for this time of year, even if it's the middle of summer. Out there this morning, we got temperature readings of 50 degrees in Lyman, 67 in Burlington, 61 in Goodland, 64 in Oberlin, and 69 in McCook. Once again, we're all over the board. We got a south wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour already, and that should increase this afternoon to 15 to 30 miles per hour, and that'll finally push that haze completely out of the area as that high pressure that's been sitting over the southwest pushes into the northern plains. What that's going to do is it's going to keep our temperatures warming. Tomorrow we'll see a temperature in the upper 90s, and then on Sunday we're going to hit those triple digits with a high around 102. Then it's really going to intensify that high pressure over the area. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, we could see a 4-day period where temperatures are up there in the middle to upper 100s, maybe even hitting 110 degrees, and that'll put those heat indexes above 105. And if it does that for 4 days in a row, we could see an excessive heat advisory. That would mean we need to take very extreme precautions of not going outdoors more than 30 minutes at a time, drinking plenty of water, and shading your pets and animals. The other thing we got to keep an eye on is the fire weather concerns out to the west. The drier air is sitting out there. If those winds blow above 20 miles per hour, that means we could have some wildfire danger as well. That's going to be borderline with the red flag warnings. But again, we got that heat advisory that we definitely expect to be to the east of the Kansas and Colorado line. As you get further to the east and the humidities, those heat indexes will go up. We may not even see overnight lows in some locations to our east getting out of the 80s, but most generally across the tri-state area will be in the upper 60s out along the Colorado border and 70s here in northwestern Kansas. Another thing we got to consider is if we have this extended period of excessive heat and no rain, which is in the forecast of maybe only seeing a chance of some scattered activity Saturday evening along the Kansas-Colorado border, we may have another chance at the end of our 7-day of getting some storms there next Thursday and Friday with that cool down. And then looking beyond that, we may not see another chance until the 10th or 11th in that 14 to 15-day period. In that total combined period, we may only see a quarter to 1 inch of rainfall across the tri-state area, and that is well below normal. So we could end up in a flash drought situation as we head into that first week of August of this extreme heat and not enough rain, and we could see a quickly evapotranspiration out of our crops, and that would be a situation we do not want to see adversely affecting our crops and pasture land over the next 2-week period. Once we start looking beyond that second week in August, we may start to see some rain and the pattern shifting back to where that high pressure retrogrades back to the south and west. We go back to northwesterly flow and could see some thunderstorms returning every day. But again, we're going to be focusing on the next 2 weeks of being above normal temperature-wise, probably in the hundreds most of the time, and lacking precipitation and well below our averages.
Once again, that's Ag meteorologist Chris Schrammick at Decision Weather in Atwood, as well as America's Weather Streaming Channel for 106.1 KYVZ. I'm Joe Vazurek.